I'm going to show you how to make the Simply Batz About Cats coaster from Kreative Kiwi, and for this I'm going to be using 2 layers of wash away stabiliser. You can use cutaway if you prefer, it really doesn't matter for this project. My 5x7 hoop, a selection of threads, my squizzers, fabrics and batting cut to size. I've got my backing fabric which is pressed in half, and that's going to form the envelope back. If you're making this in vinyl, then you would just have 2 pieces of vinyl cut the same size, one for the back, one for the front. You will also need a matching bobbin and thread for stitching the backing on, so that it's the same colour both back and front. Underneath this video there is the link to the design, and there's also lots of other information and interesting links for you as well, including my supplies. There's also a discount code for SimThread. It's for the US only, I'm afraid, but it entitles you to a 5% discount up until the 8th of February next year, and you can use it as often as you like. You're going to start off by hooping your 2 layers of stabiliser. And I like to pin around the edge so that my stabiliser stays nice and taut in the hoop. So place your pin on top of your hoop, push it through the stabiliser, bring it back round and through, and that will anchor it nicely. Load the thread colour that you would like for the paw print decorative stitching around the edge into your machine, and then you're going to stitch round number 1, and that's going to be your placement outline for your batting. I've put a piece of paper on here so you can see my outline. If you're stitching the vinyl version of this, you're going to skip colour number 2. If you don't know how to do that, I would suggest that you look up a video on YouTube for your machine, or look in your user manual. Usually it's a little cotton reel looking icon on your machine with a plus or a minus. The plus skips forward a colour, minus skips back. For the fabric version, we're going to place the batting over the outline and tape it in place. Then you're going to pop this into your machine and stitch round number 2. Trim away the excess batting from around the stitch line. You're now going to place your fabric or vinyl over either the outline or the batting and tape it in place. Pop your hoop into your machine and stitch round number 3. Next you're going to stitch round number 4, and that's the paw print border. Load your machine with the thread colour that you want for the cat, and then you're going to stitch round number 5. Load the colour for the heart into your machine, and then you're going to stitch round number 6. Load your thread for the word simply into your machine, and then you're going to stitch round number 7. Load your thread colour for the word Batz into your machine, and then you're going to stitch round number 8. Load your thread for the word about into your machine, and then you're going to stitch round to number 9. Load whichever colour you want for the letter C into your machine, and then you're going to stitch round number 10. Load your thread for the letter T into your machine, and then you're going to stitch round number 11. Load your thread for the letter Z into your machine, and then you're going to stitch round number 12. If you're doing the vinyl version of this coaster, you're going to turn your hoop over, place your fabric over the back, tape it on, and then you're going to stitch round number 13. If you're doing the fabric version, then you're going to take your 2 pieces of fabric, place them down on the front of your coaster, and you want the folds towards the middle, and you want them to overlap, and then you're going to tape them in place. And what is important here is where you've got these edges. What you want to do is put some tape so that they can't lift, because as the foot travels round, it's easily caught underneath the fabric, and you don't want that to happen. So once that's taped, you're going to pop your hoop into your machine, and you're going to stitch round number 13. Now if you're doing the vinyl, you're going to want a matching bobbin and thread in. If you're doing the fabric, you're going to want a colour closest to your fabric in your machine. You're now going to free your work from the hoop. If you're doing the vinyl version, you're going to have 2 stitch lines, and you're going to cut along the outside stitch line all the way around, and that's just going to leave you with the inner one. For the fabric one, you're going to cut all the way around, but leaving a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Next we're going to chip into these corners so that when we turn it, it turns neatly. So just cut up to the stitch line without cutting it. We're now going to turn this out the right way, and I'm using a chopstick to push the corners out. And all that's required now is a light press. And that's your coaster finished. I hope you enjoyed this stitch along. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to be notified of new videos as they're published. Do pop along to Kreative Kiwi's Facebook group. There's lots of ideas, help and inspiration there for everybody. And thank you very much for joining me. Please stay safe.